They used to laugh when I walked into the office, not loudly, not obviously, just enough for me to hear the whisper after I passed. She looks like she got dressed in the dark. That hair, does she even own a mirror? I never fit into their world. The sleek pencil skirts, the Instagram ready makeup, the coffee break clicks. I wore mismatched jackets, kept my curly hair natural, and chose function over fashion. But the worst part wasn't the looks, it was the tone. The way they said my name, like it was a mistake. I was Samira, the quiet girl in finance, the one with oversized glasses and baggy cardigans, always early to meetings, always last to be asked anything. They didn't see me as weak. They didn't see me at all. Until one day, they did. But by then, I was no longer the girl they used to laugh at. I was their new boss. It didn't happen overnight. The jokes, the whispers, the subtle digs, those left a mark. At first, I cried in the bathroom, then I stopped crying altogether. One day, after a particularly nasty comment about my appearance in the break room, I went home, looked in the mirror, and for the first time, I didn't see the problem. I saw someone with potential, someone they underestimated. So I made a promise they would never laugh at me the same way again. I signed up for a late-night data analytics course online. Then another in strategic financial planning. I wasn't trying to prove them wrong, I was preparing to outgrow them. I also changed how I presented myself, not for them, but for me. Neutral tones, sleek lines, still simple, but sharp. I didn't need to look like them. I needed to look like a leader. The next quarter, I pitched a cost-saving model that helped the company avoid layoffs. For the first time, people looked at me and listened. That moment was the beginning of everything. My manager took credit for my idea, of course. But I had documented the process, saved every file, time-stamped every suggestion I'd emailed. So when leadership asked for a breakdown, I sent them a detailed report with receipts. That's when I caught the eye of the director of operations. He asked me to join a task force on restructuring our finance department. The same women who once laughed at my clothes now copied my spreadsheet formatting. They started asking for my opinion in meetings, cautiously, like testing the waters. It felt good, yes, but not enough. Respect given out of fear or convenience wasn't the kind I wanted. I wanted the kind that came from undeniable results. So I kept my head down, and I worked. And I waited for the right moment to rise. That moment came during a crisis. The department was bleeding money from outdated vendor contracts and poor forecasting. The head of department was on edge, blaming junior staff. But I had already seen it coming. I presented a full audit I had done on my own time. Risk analysis, renegotiation strategies, a 5-month turnaround plan. The CEO was in that meeting. He asked me one question. Why didn't your manager catch this? I didn't answer directly. I just said, sometimes, when you're not seen, you see everything. The room went silent. 2 weeks later, I was asked to lead a project for internal restructuring. 3 months after that, my former manager was let go, and I was appointed interim department lead. The promotion wasn't announced with fanfare, but it didn't have to be. They knew. I walked into the same office they used to whisper in and changed everything. I implemented mentorship for junior staff. I redesigned workflows for efficiency. I invited collaboration, not cliques. Some of my old critics tried to buddy up. Others stayed silent. One actually apologized. I didn't gloat. I didn't remind them of the laughs, the comments. But when someone asked me how I had changed so much, I said, I didn't change. I just stopped hiding. The truth is, they never broke me. They just gave me a mirror, and I decided to reflect something they didn't expect. I started mentoring younger women who didn't fit the mold, the ones too shy, too quiet, too different, because I knew their power, and I knew what it felt like to be looked at and unseen at the same time. I didn't need revenge. I needed vision. And when I looked forward, I saw a place I could build where no one had to earn respect through pain. It wasn't just about becoming the boss. It was about becoming the kind of boss I never had. The greatest transformation wasn't external, it was internal. The woman who once shrunk herself to fit their standards now sets